Oh, and one more thing I was gonna share the link with you. There it is. If you want to on the side, share it on any socials. There's the link right there for the live.
Perfect.
And then let me go on Facebook.
Let's see.
Hello, hello, everybody, everybody. If you are out there, just say hi so we know that you are there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are celebrating Women's History Month for the fourth time, and I am very excited because women are just amazing. And all right, there we go. All right, this is cool. There we go. Well, daggone it, we made it. 2025. March has been a long year already.
March has been a long year. That's a great way to describe March.
March is so on brand. It's just been, I wanted someone to say Happy New Year when March 31st comes because
Everybody
it
knows that the spring is the real new year, so you're accurate.
dead on. And actually, like if we go strictly by what should be technically correct or politically correct, March is like the first of the new year.
It is.
That's another conversation for another day. But anyhow, making it. Happy Women's History Month. I am excited. This is the first live for Chip Chat and Chill for the year of 2025. And just a little backstory. Of course, Chip Chat and Chill, this is a place where we are millennials who love food, great conversation, kickbacks, and we just have great discussions about things that we're learning as millennials because we're like the first generation to be in the middle of the time where there wasn't any internet to where internet was starting to get really popular to our parents coming out of the 4 acres and a mule type thing and having 3 kids and 3.5 kids and a dog and the picket white fence and go to college and get a pension and all of this stuff. And now we're changing all the rules, right? So
Mm-hmm.
as we're changing all the rules, we're having all these conversations like, you're going through this too, or you didn't know that, or my parents told me this too. So this is where we have all those conversations about unlearning things, especially when it comes to parenthood, finance, personal career goals, uh, you name it, food of all things,
Yeah.
the inherited diet that we inherit from our parents and their parents, and so forth and so on, health, all the things. We talk about that here, and we just have a good time doing so. So I am glad to be back. I took a little hiatus, and now that I'm back, I'm just ready to do what I do and enjoy people. I have missed being in this chair, and I'm grateful that I have a special guest with me this evening, and we are just going to kick it off. So, tonight, this is the first live for Women's History Month, and what we're going to do, I'm going to introduce, let me see. Okay, my guest here, this is Ji'Brayah. She is a product development strategist and retail merchandising consultant. She's an author, she's a mother, she's a great girl's girl, and she's just an amazing person, professional, fun, very, very intelligent. Please welcome Ji'Brayah to this show, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I don't know.
Wednesday.
Was it? Yeah. Motherhood has me on my own calendar. You know, as a mom, you have to be a day ahead.
Baby, you gotta roll with the punches because these kids will
Yes.
run you if you don't. So, just a little bit about Ji'Brayah. I'm glad that you are here. We're going to talk all things, just moving forward with raising agency, all of your accomplishments so far, your goals for the next, quarter or so, and what you see going into the future as far as your industry goes. And just have a good time. I'm excited to have you.
Yes, I'm always down for a good time.
Hey, hey, hey. So that's what we're about here. So, really quickly, what I would like to do now, I actually crafted a drink in your honor. What I like to do for most of my guests who come on, we will craft a drink. And I named it after you. I gave my audience on social media the opportunity to have a vote and a say in naming the drink after you. And what are the chances they all this time decided in my favor? Because it was going to be the name anyway. I kind of came over, I was like, that hits. So, my friends, I have in my glass, you ready? Drum roll. The Little Pink Barbíto.
Oh, I like that. What's in that cup?
This is a pink Barbie mojito for personal brand Barbie. Okay.
I love
This
it.
is a pink Starburst mojito. So I mixed in a pink Starburst drink along with their classic mojito recipe, and I mixed in some lemon, some lime, and some cream of cocoa, and it tastes amazing. So I'm going to share the recipe on social media. If you try it, let me know what you think. Cheers to you, Ji'Brayah.
That sounds delicious. Oh my gosh. Cannot wait for you to drop the recipe so I can either make it at home or ask them my next bartender to remake it for me.
It's so, I think you'll be pleased. If you like the pink Starburst and you like the mojito, they had a baby. That little
Perfect
pink.
combination.
So that was fun to come up with in the kitchen. All right. Now, what we're going to get into, I also like to do a special thing in honor of Women's History Month, is do what I call a 60-second girl gang drop. So I'm going to give Ji'Brayah an opportunity to give us one, two, three, however many of her favorite women-owned businesses, agencies, you name it.
Mmm.
Those all with us within 60 seconds. So I'm going to start
Ouch.
whenever you're ready.
Oh, you got me. Okay. Where my girls at? Where are my girls at?
Ready.
Okay, let's do it. So, drum
Yeah.
roll. I live in the Smyrna area. There's a salon called Conceited that's Black women owned. So
Ooh.
that's my roll call.
Okay.
Um, let me keep going. Let me keep going. Who's in my restaurant? Who's in their restaurant bag? Oh man, there's so many.
I
But the
know.
top of mine, who was my favorite girl owned restaurant? I don't remember any. I don't want to freeze
I
up. Okay,
haven't been yet.
chicken salad chick is owned by a chick. So
I can get over
clock
there.
clock
Yes.
that. Okay, we got chicken salad chick. When it comes to black owned, my friend did my. Her name was Cleo. She is the Fairy Brow. Here in Atlanta, she did my micro bladed eyebrows, and I just wake up pretty every single day because of her. So clap, clap, clap for Cleo. Shout out to the Fairy Brow.
Next.
Um, who else? I got a couple seconds left. Oh man, I have so
Yep.
many awesome friends who do awesome things. My cousin Alize, she works as a manager at Bay's House in Marietta, which is like a hookah, cute girl lounge. So let's clap that.
Ooh, okay. Okay. We love a good lounge. Nice.
All right, how much I
Awesome.
have some time? I have time left, or I'm out of time.
Thumbs up.
Okay, okay, okay. I think I did good.
That's what happens when you're in industry. You know so many people because I have that same. If you ask me on the drop of a hat, I'm like, oh my gosh, which one do I pick? It's so many of them. So I get it. I can drop one that I've been wanting to try since we're talking about restaurants and we're foodies here. I've been wanting to try. I don't want to say her name wrong. Gaucher.
Mm-hmm.
She owns a restaurant, and I see her all the time. I see Crystal Hayes that goes there. I've seen Cash Doll. I really want to try her food. It looks amazing. Gosha is Gocha. She used to be a hairdresser, stylist. That's how she started, and that's how I first knew her. But then she broke out and she started going into the industry, and she owns, I think, one if not two restaurants here in Atlanta. So I'm going to share that on the socials as well. So we have some very good picks in various industries that Ji'Brayah shared with us. I'm going to collect those and share them on Chip Chat and Chill so we can all give them some business and circulate them black dollars. Because if we don't, no one else will. Especially now with the, he who shall not be named in
Mm-hmm.
office and all the changes and all the ruckus. So before he passes another bill and changes anybody else's life, we're going to celebrate us the way we know how. All right.
Absolutely.
So, Chip, Chatter, and Chill. We are here celebrating Women's History Month. I want to shout out some women that have been doing amazing things in various different industries. Before we get into in some good conversation with Ji'Brayah, I wanted to let you guys know, if you don't know, I do have an entertainment background. And as I get back into the hard swing of acting and self tapes and doing this, that, and all the things, I came across something that was so empowering and encouraging this week. I just have to share it. So, Ji'Brayah, I saw, are you a fan of Zendaya?
Absolutely love Zendaya and her So Kate Heels.
Boy, I'm so proud of her. If I could not be any more proud of her than I am or have already been, I'm definitely proud of her this week. It was just released, guys, that Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman, because we black, we say everybody's full government name, right? She is now at 28 years old. She is now the highest paid African American actress in TV. She
Wow.
negotiated her salary with HBO because you know she's on the series Euphoria. I have to check that out. I've seen clips of it. I haven't sat and watched a full episode, but I heard it's really good. So much so that it's good enough that she's won not just a Golden Globe, she won an Emmy too. So because of them two wham bam, thank you, ma'ams. She negotiated with HBO. She is now getting paid a whopping one $1 million per episode. Big
Wow.
at 28. $1 million per episode. So shout out to Zendaya.
Shout
Do
out to
your thing, girl.
Zendaya.
And protect her at all costs, please.
Yes, Lord.
That is so amazing. At 28. Woof. God is good.
That is so
So
good.
shout out Zendaya. I also want to shout out a young lady I just came across recently, and I am blown away. She's an artist, and she is the founder and artistic director of ABL Creations. Her name is Melissa A. Mitchell. And if you've ever seen any bold, eccentric art featuring bright colors, bold patterns, and had them transferred into wearable art, she's probably your girl. I just discovered her, and I tell you, she is doing amazing things. And if you see this, Melissa, I would love to have you on Chip Chat and Chill because I think you are just an amazing creative mind. I've seen her work. She's collaborated with fashion designers or fashion boutiques like Shein. She's collaborated with Foot Locker, Coach, Spanx, and so many other brands. And she's just amazing. She's beautiful. And so is her artwork. So I just wanted to celebrate Melissa A. Mitchell.
Shout out to
And
Melissa.
yes. And not only that, clap for everybody that's watching and that will play this back because for all of the women of color, of all different races, I tell you, if we don't stick together, no one else will stick up for us. In a time where things are very uncertain, whether it be financial, professional, work wise, we go through so many things. We wear so many hats and we're so diverse in the things that we do in this thing called life. It's also important that we look in the mirror and we celebrate ourselves. So if you don't today, I'm going to celebrate every person watching and that is going to replay this and let you know that you are special, you are necessary, and you are very, very loved. So I celebrate and honor each and every one of you. Now, Ji'Brayah, before we get into our conversation, is there any special woman in your life, in your network that works alongside you, that's in your Rolodex, that you would like to shout out and give their flowers to?
Hmm. So many amazing women in my life. So it'd be hard to narrow it down to just one,
Yeah.
because I've just been supported by just a beautiful tribe of women. But I will shout out to my best friend Courtney. She has been holding me down these last couple years, but most specifically in this season that I'm in of grief. She has just, been by my side, been my road dog, but also been a great accountability partner. And so shout out to my girl Courtney. She's currently on the choir or the worship team at 2819 Church. So shout out to my girl.
Oh, go ahead, Courtney. I celebrate you, and I celebrate too. I've heard nothing but great things about that ministry. Shout out to Pastor Mitchell and his wife. That whole ministry, you guys are going places, and you guys have a good, big footprint of impact that
Yes.
reaches far beyond Atlanta. So that is amazing. I would like to shout out, shout out to Sally Cunningham. That is my 97-year-old. Okay. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2023. Shockingly, I'm like, she lived through all the things, slavery up to now, and now in her latter years, breast cancer. Really, go sit down. But I tell you, she has not had a lick of chemo. She hasn't needed it, and instead of it continuing to grow, the cancer has actually shrunk, and
That's a
had to have
blessing.
seriously medicated follow through pilling her out. She's been taking like vitamin D3s and those types of things, but she's
Mm-hmm.
still spicy. She's still hilarious. She's still holding a smile. And even though we've been through so many losses in just 2024 alone, that lady just had her 97th birthday, and every week she's telling me she's planning her 100th. I'm like, you better be here, lady. So I just want to celebrate Sally Cunningham all the
Shout out
way
to
in.
Sally.
Thank you. Amazing, 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 strong, beautiful woman. I love her so much. That is my favorite girl. All right. Now, since we got Ji'Brayah on Chip Chat and Chill Live, I just want to crack her brain and ask her a couple questions and get into a good girl chit chat and just talk about a couple things as far as like professional, maybe a little bit of personal. I don't want to get too much in your business in front of these strangers, but just to get to know you a little bit and so the audience gets a feel of who you are. So I've introduced you and I let the people know what you do professionally. What inspired you to enter into your industry, and did you have a mentor, or was it just a moment and you said, this is exactly what I want to do?
Yes, great question. And so currently I sit in the project management space with a focus on retail merchandising at pretty much the biggest home improvement retailer in the world. And so I have the luxury of manning the flooring department. So anything below your feet, I am in charge of managing those projects. And so I embarked on that career maybe like 2.5, maybe going on 3 years ago. And it's a space I always thought I would be in. When I thought retail, though, I always thought clothing. I did not consider that retail could include home improvement or decor or, that type of utility or accessory, I should say. And so that has been a really fun thing to grow into, and understanding that when it comes to painting your career picture, sometimes you're going to pick up different brushes, and the picture that you paint may not specifically look like what you imagined during your collegiate days, but you can still walk into the career that you want to go into. And sometimes you have to transition, right? So I may be in this space where I'm working in home improvement, but the skill set that I'm learning now can take me to, the fashion retail space if I choose to go into that industry. But I believe that there's no such thing as solo career success. Everything you do in this life is a partnership. Everything you do in this life is it's a group. I like to say that your purpose is a group project because you need multiple people to support you in that journey. And I feel the same way about careers. And so my career journey has definitely been fostered by mentors. I've had a mentor since I was 15 years old, who has walked me through every piece of my career from high school to college and even post graduation,
Good.
reviewing from reviewing my resume, putting in references for me. Um, she even gave me like the first little notch on my resume as like the intern at her HR consulting company, because I think when we talk about mentorship, career mentorship, we don't tell the younger people about sponsorship. And sponsorship is putting me in the game.
Right.
Mentorship is holding my hand and taking me into the room, but sponsors put you in the game. And I think that that's an invaluable relationship to have as you develop your career.
I agree with you. I'm glad you said that out loud because that's something that we don't talk about enough, I think, in my opinion, and that it is needed. You need a good, happy, healthy marriage of both. And that's fortunate for you that you had that powerful influence and backing from your mentor. So that's amazing. So you do have a personal flair style that I have admired for the past couple of years. We first met, if anybody knows, if anybody from the social that I've met since then, Ji'Brayah and I had the opportunity to meet at an ice cream social, and I forgot the name of the business. It escapes me now. Of course, it's going to come right to me after we finish this conversation. But they're a really cool Black-owned ice cream shop
They're
on
where are they? They're not Candler Road, but whatever leads off of Candler Road, and I don't
yes,
recall either.
Indicator.
Um,
Yeah, I want to say something.
yeah,
There's the dream is in the name, but it's family owned, and this is such a beautiful family, and the ice cream is amazing. They have all the
yeah, they have
toppings.
like the rolled ice cream.
Yes, and they're
Mm-hmm.
in the Kroger Plaza. Is gonna come to me,
Yes.
but yeah, um, we met there, and I gotta tell you, I really, really like your personal flair style. So much so, I think I gave you a compliment that evening. So, talking about Home Depot and thinking about going into fashion and merchandise and things like that nature, when was it that you first realized that you were finding or you found your style, your personal style, and who or what was your influence?
Mm. Okay, so this actually, we're talking about women that inspire us. And so my grandmother worked for Microsoft in the 80s. She is
Cool.
Jamaican. She was born in Jamaica, moved to the UK for school,
Hey,
came to America.
hey.
So that's her background. So I want to kind of help you curate like that style path and journey. But she's Microsoft in the 80s. And if you're in Microsoft in the 80s and you're a black woman, which is far and few between, you're gonna dress. You have to dress. Like you have to be on point with your looks. And so, watching her throughout the years navigate the corporate space, and we eventually relocated from the north to the south in early 2000s. I would wear my grandmother's clothes to school in elementary school. So like she had all these cute skirts, and my grandma's a more of a slim figure. I've always been curvier, I guess, from my dad's side, and so I was able to fit her clothes. And so, growing up in elementary school, I wasn't shopping where my peers were shopping, was probably like Limited Too and J.C. Penney,
Yeah,
for two reasons. One, they didn't really have a large plus size line when I was a younger girl. And so I had to get really creative, and shopping in my grandma's closet was the beginning of my style journey. And so she had always been a big, big, big influence on how I, dress myself, how I approach the world. And then two, I want to say it was further cultivated by Cheetah Girls.
ah, that was a time. That was a
Specifically,
time.
yeah, that was a time. Specifically, Raven Simone. I think her show came out prior to that. But seeing a girl that looked like me, was shaped like me, had this fun style, and it's like I want to be her. And so I kind of saw
Yeah,
myself in Raven, and that kind of just helped me continue to forge my path when it came to building my personal style.
I love that. That is so cool. Yeah, they had some really good pieces, and I gotta say, I agree. They did not have things that were tailored to
Ravens,
varying variations of a young woman's body, especially
yes,
because and us, we all develop differently, and so in some cultures we're more curvier than others, and different proportions that look different body. So I do agree. There were some times I could recall going to either it was like Macy's, what was another one, like Route 21, or those
we
type
had
of
limited
shop.
to 579. I never got to shop
I
at
said, "No,
579
oh
because
my,
I was never a 5, a 7, or a 9, so I didn't get to shop in there.
oh my gosh, aging us 5'7". Wow,
You remember
5'7".
579? I remember
Yes,
579.
yes, I forgot all
BB,
about
we
it. Yeah, that was the time before Forever 21 and
yes,
H&M. That
yes,
was it.
we had BB back then. Um,
Easy.
because I had an aunt, my aunt, which is my mom's younger sister. she was going to Clark Atlanta. So super stylish. So that's another closet that I was shopping in as a kid. When she wasn't home, I'm like in the racks. Oh yeah, I'm taking this BB. I'm taking this Lacoste polo. Let me make sure I
Yeah.
put it back. Art and B. I know you remember Art and B.
I still have R&B pieces. I have some bottoms, and I have one of my favorite sapphire blue dresses is from R&B. I loved them
The
so
quality
much.
is chef kiss. I think I still have a shirt from my aunt in my closet that supersedes anything you can find at Zara or H&M. Like just the cut,
Facts.
the quality, everything about it just screams woman, but also it's just long lasting. Like these are things that I wish I could pass down to my daughter because the clothes that are out
Yes.
now, I can't even pass them to the next year without them just being in a completely different form.
It's a disaster sometimes. I agree. Oh my gosh, you took me back. Oh yeah, you my girl. Man, dang, I remember that. Okay, so taking it back to then and developing your personal style. Shout out to grandma and those type of things I appreciate about their generation because they come from a generation they made they tailored their own looks and their styles and their dress and they
Yes.
came up with their own avenue of what it meant to be fashionable and tasteful too. They were much more
Hmm.
tasteful than this generation, even though there are some unique finds that you have to piece together, I think. And if you're able to like layer it and make some statement pieces, mix and match and things like that. But nothing compares to the elegance and the that their generation came from. I gotta say, I give it to them every time. Let me see. What is something, or what I say, what is the first thing you identify when you're, or as a collaborative opportunity? Because I don't like to say negative or a shortcoming. I'll call it a collaborative opportunity. What's one of the first things you'll identify to help a brand take it to the next level or take it up a notch?
Yes. I always tell my clients it's not about what you want, it's about what your audience wants. And so when we create these brands, whether it's a podcast, a book, a fashion line, an ebook, if you get caught up in what you want, you have nobody to sell to except for yourself. And
Yeah.
so the greatest thing to do when you're developing a product, when you're developing an idea, or you're developing an app, something digital, you have to create it with the target audience first. Who do
Yeah.
I want to target? Who can afford this product? What is the
Mhm.
problem that I need to solve for this group? And then you develop from there. When you develop with
Mhm.
other people in mind, you're more likely to cast a wider net versus when you try to create what you desire to see.
Yeah.
And so that's a big, big, big thing that has to be a focus when we talk about building brands, especially in our space as African American business owners.
Sure. That's awesome. So, just a little bit, let me back up just a little space because asked a question I forgot to tell the audience. So, Ji'Brayah has a firm called the Brazen Agency. So, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. And so Brazen Agency was sprouted, I think, 2019, 2020. But to be honest, the seed was planted when I was in college. During my college days, I've always been really entrepreneurial driven. And so I started a wig line where I would make custom wigs for the girls on campus. It was called Lust Lace Wigs. Made my logo. This
Okay.
was before Canva was out. Like I had to go to some random website and build this logo, this clip art logo. You guys remember clip art? This I don't know if you're OG, if you remember
Yes.
like yeah, if you can go that far back. And so I built this really big brand in college. It was super popular, got published in the newspaper. It was like student turns passion into profit, amazing brand. Um, and then I was pursuing a marketing degree. I was pretty popular on campus when it came to like the business and the social organizations. And so people just started asking me like, hey, can you show me how to create flyers on Instagram? This is like when Instagram was really emerging, maybe like five years after Instagram first started. And
Yeah.
so people started coming to me. I didn't know at the time it was consulting, but I was consulting people in college. And so when
Yeah.
I graduated, my first client was a girl that I met in college, and she was planning a photo shoot. She was like this new business coach, super popular. Her mom was a coach. Like she always in that space, but she didn't really know how to curate her brand. She didn't know how to really build a personal brand outside of herself. And so she was like, "Hey, can you come to my photo shoot? I love the way you dress, so I'm hoping you can support me." And came to her set, and I was like, "Hey, I brought you some pieces, but also let me just direct the shoot." And honestly, from there, it just bloomed from just doing that one favor for a friend and just posting it online, talking to people through the journey. Other people started reaching out. hiring me to plan their photo shoots. And then after I was on set for like 2 or 3 shoots, I was like, you guys aren't ready for a photo shoot because you don't have a brand yet. Let's develop who you're talking to, what you're trying to get across, and what is your messaging, what's your vision and your mission. And so that's when Brazen Agency was created, to help people build the foundation before they got on set for the photo shoot.
That is so dope. And yes, all of these elements come into play, and that's what gives it its legs and its feet and its to really take off. And it's funny that you say, because that's exactly what I had to tell a client of mine, because I do social media management and I also do audio and video editing for clients. And this guy
Mm-hmm.
was like really hesitant that I was working with. He's like, "Well, I didn't want to go with this one palette of look," and I'm like, "Well, why?" And he's like, "Well, that's not something that would be something that speaks to my personal personality and what I like." I said, "Well, who are we servicing, or who is this brand for, and what's your audience like?" And he said, "Well, it's like this." I said, "Well, those type of neutral colors and those pattern tones that I'm showing you, those are actually speaking, and they're speaking, kind of subconsciously to your audience, is telling them this is what they want." So
Yes.
his hesitancy was because he didn't want to look like or blend in or follow on a trend that everybody else was in his industry. I said, no, they're doing it for a reason, because it works. It's a part of the formula. So I'm glad you said that out loud. It's so, so important when it comes to those elements of branding. I'm happy to see where Brazen is taking off, and I'm excited because of the backstory. That's so, so you. I can tell that so much of your personality comes through when you're able to take those baby steps with clients and just help them put the whole full puzzle together.
Yes.
Um, so, what would you say for those unsure of the power of social media and tangible reach for business? What would you tell them?
I would tell them so many things, but one thing that's a big focus is the numbers. If you were in a room and 100 people came to see you speak, would you feel accomplished?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes, right?
Yep.
But when we get 100 likes, we look around and say, well, that's not enough.
Right.
So you have to take into account, what does this look like in the real life, and use it as a measurement versus trying to use vanity metrics that you see happening in other people's universe. And so even if you could
Exactly.
get 10 people to come to an event space to hear you pitch, talk, or present, that is a win. That's the same way you have to look at social media. It is a platform for you to share your ideas, your concepts, and your products. The best way to use social media is to use it as a thinking space to help you establish yourself as a thought leader. A lot of times people get caught up in not wanting to give out free game, but the whole
Right.
purpose of curating a brand is to give free game and eventually charge for the premium. And so if you can
Exactly.
use social media as a space to share everything that you are a genius at, and you don't have the pride or the ego that somebody may take it from you, like you're really confident, like, okay, God has this for me, I can share this part of the sauce. Social media becomes a playground for you instead of a prison.
Exactly. I'm glad. I'm glad you're here. She is dropping the pure unadulterated truth, because some people just don't get it. Like, it's so true. You have to, and a part of it is, some people may take the element of, well, I don't like talking into a camera. Or I don't like to everybody in my business, or I'm a private person. Well, if you're trying to sell something, you got to give a little something to get something back. It take a look, like I said, take money to make money. It takes a little give and take, and you got to find your dance and your rhythm with that, how much you're willing to go, and set some boundaries and some limits. Of course, you don't have to give everything, but like you said,
Mm-hmm.
as far as your business comes, you give what you can, free game, and that is the perfect playground to do that, because you get to engage with people and build your community. That way you can start saying, okay, well, when I get to this limit, that's when I start charging for the premium, because yesterday's price is definitely not going to be today's price. So that's what that
Correct.
place. I'm glad Ray had that to say, and it wasn't me, so I'm not the evil one. It's just truth, y'all. It's true. So that's dope. Let's see. For some, yeah. And the other part of that is, unfortunately, and I don't know if it's just a handful of people. It's not, because my side of the internet, we all have the same complaint lately. Our internet cousin, Algae Rhythm, he don't play fair lately. It's just different. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
happened. That was like the major, major shift, because it wasn't as hard as it has been recently to just people I don't even see anymore that I used to see all the time. And now I have to go like personally search them up or make changes and adjustments to settings to just see people I used to see every day. And we're not even talking like they have 150,000 followers. I'm talking about somebody that just has, 8,000 or 5,000. I'm like, I don't see them anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that other trying to figure out when your presence will be known or, how to reach your target audience. But it's all in, just being consistent and just showing up. I think
Yeah, just
if you're
showing up, and also the gem to business is that you're not selling to everybody. Everybody is not your customer, and so while it can feel like the algorithm is working against us. It's a good thing
yeah,
to know that everybody is not my client, so everybody doesn't have to see what I'm talking about and what I'm selling because I'm specifically curated for a certain type of person. And when they're ready to find what I'm selling, they'll eventually find me as long as the consistency is there and the data is there. I've spent $10,000 with somebody and didn't even follow them or like any of their videos. I just watched 3 videos. They were having an event, paid $200 for the ticket, enrolled in their coaching program. And I did not engage with any of her content until I got to the event. I was like, oh, I should probably follow her now. Okay, I should probably go, I should probably follow her now. And so I think sometimes we think that the vanity metric has a higher weight than actual transactions, and it does not. Again, I went to somebody's conference, spent 200 something dollars because somebody else reposted it in their story. I clicked
hmm
it, watched her first 4 videos, said, this is exactly what I want to do. Let me go here. Shared it with 2 friends. They came to the event, and I didn't even follow the lady on social media before I got to her event. And so I think it's important to know that even if they're not liking, they're watching. And they're not only watching, but they're engaging. And they may even be supporting. And they may even enroll in your next thing. So it's good to
Yep,
post like nobody is watching because eventually everybody will be watching. Or at least the right people will be watching.
that part. You always end up finding a tribe, right? The right ones will
Yep.
find. That is so dope. Yeah, and that happens all the time because I literally just I think I looked up and an account that I go on at least once a week. I said I'm not even following them. I said okay, I might as well just go ahead and click the. I just knew
Yeah.
I was following the whole entire time, but sometimes that's how it ends up happening.
Yeah.
All right, well, cool. So getting into just your own personality, your own style and flair in life. Let me just pivot this way. What's one tried and true fast food item that you think is Michelin star worthy?
Ooh, a fish fillet sandwich. Make it fresh. I'll pull up into this parking spot one because I want it fresh off the grease.
Tried and
From
true.
Mickey D's.
Oh,
Tried and true. Tried and true. Never let me
tried.
down.
Never. When in doubt. Let me see. And I was trying to think it because I'm greedy. I'm sorry. I have too many things I love, love, love to eat. But let me see. Fast food, Michelin star worthy. It's right up there. And we know how bad and toxic McDonald's and Wendy's are. But okay. We listen, we don't judge, right?
hmm We
It's
tell the
one of my
truth.
favorites.
We tell the truth and shame the devil.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Free me tonight. Thank you. So I have been doing this since I was a kid. And I think me and one of my other co-hosts talked about this a couple seasons back. We were talking about foodie nostalgia.
hmm
Y'all, if you take a Wendy's Frosty,
hmm I'm getting
Wendy's
nervous.
fries,
hmm
dip the fries in the Wendy's
hmm
Frosty.
Mm.
It's so good, it don't even matter what flavor it is. It could be the chocolate, it could be the vanilla. Baby, when you marry the two, your soul's gonna be happy. I guarantee.
I
That's
won't judge, but I will say it sounds pretty industrial age milk and potato. So maybe you're just going back to rougher times, post Great Depression, maybe. Because all they
it's
had was milk and potatoes, so maybe that's.
it's the salty and the sweet when they marry each other. It's just amazing. It's great.
I can believe that. I can believe that might be good.
Now, what's hilarious? I remember now that I'm talking Frosty. I remember one time when my middle was she 1 yet? I think she was 1 year old. She was in a high chair. I left her 1 minute too long with her chocolate shake and her pizza. She
Mm.
made art out of it, and she made chocolate pepperoni pizza. I was like, hmm, okay. I don't know if I would ever try that, but okay, do you, boo?
Get into it, right? Yeah, kids get creative in the kitchen. If I turn my back for too long, my daughter will be like, "I'm making a recipe," and there'll be something weird in my freezer, like lemon, chocolate syrup, milk, and she'll be like, "It's a slushy. I'm gonna eat it tomorrow." And I said, "Come eat your slushy." Oh, I don't want it. So
It
yeah, I
was a
have
good idea
her.
to put it together.
Yeah. Now I'm like, maybe that wasn't a good combination. So yeah, kids get creative when it comes to um, food. Actually, I asked my daughter when because we were walking. We try to walk every day to the park and back, which is like 10,000 steps. But I was like, "What do you want to be
Yeah.
when you grow up?" She's like, "I want to be a mommy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cute. Why do you want to be a mommy?" She's like, "I just want to hug a baby." I said, "You know, the baby turns into a kid. I want to hug the kid." I said, "A kid turns into a teenager. I want to hug the teenager." So the teenager turns into a college student. And she's like, "I'll still hug them." So I said, "Okay, maybe you are ready to be a mommy because a mommy's about all the transitions, not just the baby phase." So, hey, you already got the concept down pat. Most people think mommy means just baby, but hey, if you're loving through all journeys, that might be, you're up your alley.
Yep. She meant that thing. Oh,
She
sweetie pie. How
definitely
old is
meant
she?
that. She's actually 6.
I have a 6 year old. Okay, yeah. And shout out to my 6 year old. Her two front teeth, they were holding on for so long. If you've seen
Mm.
my stories, you've seen it. Like she refused. She was so scared and panicking about dropping and losing her teeth. She just refused to let anybody take them out. So what happens when we pick her up today? She
Still
took out one of
gone.
her teeth.
Wow.
I was like, really?
Wow.
I was like, do you see the grown up tooth behind it is so nice and pearly white? She's like, yeah, I took it out in the bathroom. Like, no big deal. It's like, but you were literally just
Just
crying
crying about
last
it.
night because you wanted
Yeah.
us both out your.
Out your mouth. Yeah, my daughter, both of her adult teeth came in and the baby teeth were still there. So one fell out, the other one she hit her face at camp and the tooth ended up like
Oh,
turning the wrong way and coming out her lip. So we had to take her to Dr. Z, which is like this really infamous pediatric dentist here in a like midtown area. And he
okay.
had to extract the tooth and then yeah, it was panicky. I was like, I gotta leave the room. But she got that tooth out, and even the bottom teeth, the adult teeth came in before the baby tooth came out. So when the baby tooth came out, the adult teeth literally shipped in like 4 days. They just got in their spot, and I was like, you know how lucky it is to not have a snag-a-tooth phase. I feel like that's a rite of passage, and you skipped it. You
She
skipped the
did.
snag-a-tooth rite of passage.
She did. I'm a little jealous.
Me too.
But lucky her. Shout out to baby girl. Now we've talked the food and we have great conversation. Now, before we get into one of our favorite parts of the evening, which is happy hour, because adult recess is absolutely necessary in this thing we call balance in the millennial world, I want to introduce a new segment to everybody. See, this is why you have to tune in to Chip Chat and Chill Lives this month, because I'm introducing you to new segments that I've worked on while I was away. So I found a creative, fun way to introduce some internet finds that I find online, I hear about in the news. And this is a whole series of its own. It may just end up being a segment that I add separately as a carry on to the show. You might see it just by itself on the podcast app or podcast tab on my YouTube channel. Introducing for the first time tonight, Foodie Felonies. Because I know you've seen things on the internet, especially TikTok, the things that people do to food or with food. It's like, who raised you? When did you last have a good meal? Do you need a hug? It's like, where in your mind do you get this stuff from?
Did you get this from? This make me sing like Sade, like, is it a crime?
When I tell you I'm this is hilarious. Did we just friends, because I swear I said I was going to add that.
You
I was
should.
going to add that sound bite. So I
You
would give you a
should.
spiel, and then I'm gonna add that sound bite. And it's kind of like almost like I don't whoever listens to like the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy. They do guess what race it is. I would ask like, is it a crime? So we judge and we decide at the end. So I have
Mm-hmm.
actually tonight. So I'm gonna introduce you to two food felonies, and you can on social media. You can leave comments and let me know is it a crime actually or not. So one, it's actually kind of a good crime. I found a guy. His name is at I will always love John Jon. I found him on Instagram, I think a week ago or two. And what he did was actually kind of a good thing. It was a low key hustle. So if anybody's looking for a side hustle to earn extra income, if you've ever logged on to DoorDash and you see several different you've never heard of, and then you decide and then when they deliver, it's actually a brand or a chain that you already familiar with, but they subbed underneath that major chain.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if it's just a name of a restaurant or a food or caterer that you've never heard of on DoorDash. This guy at what I will always love John, he figured out how to put a ghost kitchen on the DoorDash platform. And now he's making money doing like 2-for-1 muffins and this kind of side dish here and this pasta dish there. He got his equipment. He got approved on DoorDash. They gave him the approval and they sent equipment and delivered it to him. And so that's his side hustle now. So it's not a felony if the platform approves of it, right? He's not a felon.
Is it a crime? um, I would say no because I have a DoorDash ghost story kitchen like this. So I found a Jamaican
Dope.
food spot on DoorDash,
Hey,
right?
hey.
Delicious. I ordered it like twice in a month. And so I was
Ooh.
like, you know what? Next time I'm just gonna pick it up because it said it's like 12 minutes from my house. And I live in the Cobb area. There's like dozens of restaurants. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna find it. Girl, while I pull up at an apartment complex and the Snaggletooth man was delivering me the food with a dirty Applebee's shirt on. Like he just got off of work at
Oh.
Applebee's and he come and cook in his he was in the projects. In his kitchen. And then he was trying to flirt with me and I was like, I'm so sad because this food is so good, but I could never order it again.
I could never.
So
Surprise,
I
surprise,
wanna say it's not
surprise.
so I don't the ghost kitchen I would say based off of that experience, because I'm not a judgmental person, I had to give you all the story.
We
It's a
That's right.
crime. It's a crime. I
It's
don't
a
want no
whole
ghost
crime.
kitchen, a ghost kitchen in your trap house. It's
No,
a crime. It's a
no.
crime.
At least rent like the content house or something or meet up somewhere neutral, for appearances, right? Fake it till you
They're,
make it.
they're cooking the food
Girl.
in their house. No sanitation guidelines, no gloves. They could be rolling up a flour and cooking your food. And you like, dang, this food good. This probably person was had a creative mindset when they were cooking. So
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't want a ghost kitchen.
We got to be careful out here. So yeah, just do your due diligence. And what would probably help, of course, you could always do what? Read the reviews and see if anybody can account for their experience, and you can take it from there. Now, my second food felony, I have to try and find a way to share this picture. Now, this you see food memes all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and this one had me in a chokehold. I was dying. It was subtle, but it was so hilarious. I was like, why would you do that? Let's see. Image. Can I do that? Can I put it up here? Oh yeah. Now, Exhibit A. If you read the caption,
You cannot write Nutella in short like this.
and let me move the banner so you guys can see how they wrote it. Okay, this indeed, I think I know the answer. The consensus would be for sure. Now, if you saw this cookie labeled as such when you went into this bakery in the food court in the mall, cookie filled with nut. My initial response was pause. Pause. You couldn't find a better way to write that up, mark this up. Filled with
What
nut.
kind of nut? Macadamia nut?
No,
Peanut? Almond
it was
joy nut?
like, or at least name it after the nut. Like you just said, almond. You couldn't name it, hazel, nutty,
Because if I
almond.
bite into this cookie and it's a pistachio, I'm gonna fight you. So be specific.
Help us. You cannot. So I agree. You cannot write in short like this. Now I saw try to hint at what kind of nut with the red U and T to hint at the logo, but
That's not brand. That's not on brand. That's not within.
brand. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Why would
Would
you
not
do that?
recommend.
A whole
Mm-mm.
setup. So I think I know the consensus, but I just gotta ask. Food felony. Is it a crime?
Felony.
Is it a crime? Felony for sure. Yeah, when I edit
Maximum sentencing.
yes. When I go back and edit this, I'm gonna have to do the cops font felon.
Lock him up. Guard, he's loose.
Call the dogs. Yeah, that was a whole fail. That's just a preview and a prelude to what would be our future foodie felony segment on Chip Chat and Chill. Don't let it happen to you, okay? All right. So, Women's History Month live celebration. We have had a great conversation. Ji'Brayah, thank you so much for your insight and wonderful conversation. Your presence here has been just a joy.
Thank you.
I'm so honored that you joined me tonight and we were able to chat for a little bit, have a good girls talk. I've celebrated with Ji'Brayah's drink. Now, I'll leave the recipe on all socials and then just take a look at the true pretty glass if you guys are interested in purchasing any Chip Chat and Chill merchandise. Of course, I have the glasses, I have popcorn buckets still, and of course, I have branded t-shirts that are available online on all socials, and you can visit the Etsy store as well. We are now going to get into the most infamous part of Chip Chat and Chill because we adults here, we pay the bills, we work the jobs, we take care of the kids, we get sick, and we still do all the things like laundry, vacuuming, dishes, and all of that, and DoorDash and everything in between. But we and balance. And with that, we do a thing called happy hour. So get happy, folks. Have recess, have fun. Go kiki with your girls or your guy friends, whoever. Just make sure you smile at least 3 to 5 times a day. You owe it to yourself because you work hard. So I'm going to put a smile on somebody's face today. Ji'Brayah and I are going to play one round of one of our favorite games here. Shout out to Nikki, Jules, Tiff, and everybody in the crew that are responsible for lyrically correct.
Ooh.
So this one is, of course, the 99s and the 2000s. We're going to play one quick round, and then we're going to get y'all out of here and just celebrate the evening. If you were in Southeast at any point this weekend, we had some peculiar weather. Still dealing with the aftermath. Funny backstory. I literally just I didn't know if I was going to make it tonight, but I just had faith. And I said, you know what? I'm Jesus' favorite. He always comes through for me.
I know that's right.
I proved him right again. I got my internet literally 30 minutes before showtime. I was like, ha! I was sweating a little bit, but you came through. But yeah, it's just to see what the weather did over the weekend. Like literally, you would not know if you just stayed in my neighborhood the whole time. You would never know like our neighborhood outside got hit. Once you leave my neighborhood, I have never seen so many huge trees ripped from the roots.
Wow.
So many traffic signs and traffic lights, power lines down. So many roads. I've never seen huge oak trees.
Wow.
Couldn't believe it. But God's good. He kept us. And we are fine. And it literally passed over my neighborhood. I can just say nothing but thank you. Every time I come out of here, I'm like, wow, thank you, Lord. So live it up, guys. We are going to play one quick round. And let's see. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 questions. And I believe we're going to put, let's see, 60 seconds on clock? We get 60 seconds? Let's do 60 seconds. Let's see how many points Mr. Bray can get. And let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm a walking jukebox, so I think I got this.
My kind of girl. All right. Let's do it. Okay. Question DMX dated three girls with this name. Is it A, Brenda, B, Letitia, C, Nikki, or D, Kim?
What was the question?
DMX dated three girls with this name. Is it Brenda, Letitia, Nikki, or Kim?
About three.
Give it to
Mm.
me up top. About three.
Keisha. It's Nikki.
Kim's about three.
Damn.
Next one.
Dang.
What was the
Okay.
young boy doing to Lauren's life with his words? And there,
Killing me soft.
young boy. Uh-huh.
Sing it one more time.
Let's see. What was the young boy doing to Lauren's life with his words?
Was he killing her softly? Stranger to my eye,
Strong
strong in my pain with his fingers,
time.
singing my life with his
Hey,
song.
singing my life with
Okay.
his words. Good job.
Okay, okay,
Where
I
can
got it.
you meet, where can you meet Lloyd?
On the south side.
Meow, pew, 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 pew. All right. Where was the party that Montel Jordan went to on Friday night?
This
Mm,
is how we do it on Friday night. On the
party.
west side.
Hey. Good. Next one. In Sweet Lady. Why can't Tyrese play it cool? But I can't now.
Mm-hmm. I
Mm,
thought I couldn't play it cool. My
cool.
Shayla.
But I can't now.
Because I'm
Mm-mm-mm.
wanting you.
Hey, there you go. Come
Shout out,
on,
shout out to my Shayla.
Jukebox.
What more do you want from me?
Let's see. Why can't Deborah Cox and RL be friends?
Because I'm still in love with you.
Like that ain't gonna work. Dun, 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 dun. And let's see. Next one. How did Carl Thomas know it was love at first sight? Mm-mm.
Mm. He saw the lady on the porch with her husband, her two kids.
When he bought,
What was
what he bought?
both? It was love. Because the way you looked at me, baby.
Hey, there you go, there you go, there you go. Now, the challenge to close it out. Finish the next line to that song. From the way she
When
looked.
she looked at me, her eyes said it all. Long days and nights. They don't beg like that anymore, and that's what's really wrong with the economy. It's not Trump. It's that we don't have the men
Come on,
crying in the desert on their knees like Jodeci,
come on.
Jagged Edge,
Mhm.
Case,
Yep,
Donnell Jones.
come
That's
on.
what's wrong with the economy.
Yep.
When we get these men begging again with their friends outside your house,
And listen,
the world
boombox
will
up.
be great. The world will be a better place.
Bring trench coats back. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Leather in particular.
Thank you. Yes. And yes, and the ski glasses and all the things in the leather vests. Bring them all back. And the similar boots and the bag of jeans. Bring them back. We need beggars. Yep.
We need beggars.
I mean, Keith Sweat degree, Silk degree, and then the economy be back and popping. Like, yeah, like I make it make sense, y'all. We need some more beggars. All the beggars, I need y'all to come out of hiding. Get in the
Singing
studio.
beggars, not the homosexuals. We got to be like very specific.
Please. You don't want no hobos. No scrub.
No scrubs. Yeah, but please get your four homeboys and have them sing outside my house if you really want me back.
Yes. I love it. And then for like, on some 4-page letter stuff, like you need to mean it, bruh. Come on. Bring that
Give
back.
it, yeah, yeah. What we're missing is they're not starting in the church choir, and that's what we're missing in the music. The kids is not starting in the church choir. They just jumping off the porch and going into the studio. And that's not how God created it.
Let me
Okay?
let me tell y'all something. When God tell me to pick my guest, He know what He talking about. You have got to go back to. So I just finished doing 2 episodes on transitions, grief, and loss, volume 1 or episode 1, part 1.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this very thing. I don't know if Brittany is still on. If you still here, she's my witness. We talked about that. How what's hurt in R&B is y'all don't go to church no more. Y'all not in
Y'all not
church,
in the
not in the
church.
choir, not y'all ain't even in rehearsal. Y'all don't even do devotionals no more. Forget praise and worship, CCM. We talking about devotionals, and y'all don't even do that no more. So the music just don't hit the same like it used to. Y'all ain't crying
Mm-mm.
out from your heart and your soul. I don't hear no passion no more. We just
Mm-mm.
talking about the
We're missing our roots and we're losing recipes. I think it needs to be on your resume. You have to serve in the choir for a year or two before you get in studio.
yes,
Girls and boys. They,
yes. We're trying to tell y'all it makes a difference. We know what we're talking about.
mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I have had the time of my life, Brea. I am enjoying every bit of this. Hope you enjoyed yourself too. Let's we played our game. We had a great conversation. Now it is time to wrap up and go. But before we do, check please. Was there any portion of tonight that was most special to you or most memorable that you would like to take with you?
Very cute, very demure segment. Um, all of it was super exciting. I don't know. I don't have a favorite part. The Barbie pink Starburst drink, amazing. Please tell me the name again because we have to remake that at home or have the
Yeah,
bartender
the
remake
little
that
pink
recipe.
Barbíto.
Yes. That was definitely up there. And the lyric game is super fun. I think I'm going to purchase it. So if you have a referral code, please drop that on social because I will be buying that for my next girls'
Yes.
night.
Yes, I will definitely do it. And the fun thing about it is they're evolving so much since they first introduced it. They not only have the 99s and the 2000s, they've got gospel, they've got pop, you name it. The 80s and 90s was such a good time too. That's probably one of my favorite eras. But they have such a variety available now. You will have a ball going on their website. I definitely will share it with you. And for me, it's just the camaraderie and the sisterly love and good conversation the whole thing, honestly, I had at the time of my life and I really, really needed this break. So thank you again so much for coming. Women's History Month. I hope everyone feels empowered, inspired, motivated, energized, all the things. If you're looking to your left and to your right, you don't have anybody that's worth admiring, you can visit my page. You can visit Ji'Brayah on all socials. If you would like,
Yes.
go ahead and share your socials. I will move this banner out your way. There you go.
Woo woo. So you guys can find me on the gram at Personal Brand Barbie. I've also been chatting a lot on TikTok, so you can find me over there. I think my name is just Ji'Brayah over there. So come check me out on the TikTok. And I'm definitely a LinkedIn girly, same name Ji'Brayah, and let's get connected professionally.
You. And as always, you can contact me. I see my name has disappeared, but at Chip Chatter and Chill on Instagram, Chip Chatter Epstein and Chill on Facebook. You can also visit my personal page if you need any additional support for audio, video editing. I love helping people with their podcasts, as well as any graphics that you need support with, or just social media management. You want to manage your day to day posting and engagement and manage your community, I can help with that also. You can contact me at zakiamediahouse@gmail.com. It's a good time. I'm sharing a lot more acting content now that I've got a larger, reinvigorated network of people that I'm having a ball with lately. So it's just been an amazing ride. March, it's been a long year. Going to write out the rest of the year, being March, celebrating Women's History Month. Tune in, subscribe to the channel now. If you're listening to Chip Chat and Chill on Pandora, iHeart, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, go ahead and remember always to leave a review as well so we can spread the word and let the people know that they have a great community to kick back and have a great conversation and a good time at the same time here at Chip Chat and Chill. And we are just doing great things. And let's see, I will be outside just a little bit. It's getting a little peoply, but I'm slowly emerging back outside. but it's all in the name of love because I have some amazing things coming out under the Chip Chat and Chill brand, and I'm very excited about. So I have to share it with the people. If you're in town, April 26th, April 26th is I think this is the third or the fourth Black Effect Podcast Festival hosted by Charlamagne the God. I will be in the building. So if you see me, please feel free to say hi and we can have a good time together. And as I always say in closing, love yourself, live well, stay positive. And when you come back, bring some friends right here to Chip Chat and Chill, guys. Have a good evening.